I'm going to take you on a mini masterclass of paste. We will push this medium to the absolute limit and create a stunning butterfly and flower piece that looks just about ready to fly off the canvas. Stick around till the end to see how it turns out. I hope you're good and ready for our next adventure. I was asked by one of my patrons to make a butterfly with flowers, and this is a design that's super popular on the internet, as tattoos as well, on canvas, 3D, but I want to do my own version. So the first thing I've decided to check is whether I've got some images of my own butterflies from before, because I made quite a few, but everyone was very different, and this time is going to be different as well. That's the time where your hoarding skills pay off. So I found two, because I am thinking of this canvas. I want to recycle this black canvas. It was white, now it's black. I started a leaf, then I changed my mind, and I thought it's going to be just the right size for the butterfly. Actually, I've got half a butterfly, and that's even better. I usually have to change something, so I thought I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Only this upper part. It's going to be easier, we see if the background is lighter, so I'm going to spread a bit of gesso. It's actually super heavy gesso, my favorite. And I'm going to do this all over. As usual, I enjoy spreading. While I'm waiting for the canvas to be dry, I started sketching my flowers. There's going to be a leaf here. Now I'm not sure what kind of flowers do I want. Perhaps I'll make some of those wild roses, the briar roses. So I'll be fiddling with my flowers now. Once I'm happy with the design, I'm going to make everything much bigger. I started adding some small elements on the sides to balance right and left. I even folded it here, checking how far do I need to draw the flowers, roughly of course. I think it's almost finished. I might add a few details here and there. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to transfer it on the other side, of course. Once I'm happy with my position, I can draw over the elements, pressing hard, or do this. I didn't have to press hard at all. Let me see. Look at that. I think I was saying that I am going to perhaps add a couple more leaves or some buds. And I think I'm ready to use the paste. The good news is that I had some paste stored from my rose, and it's loads. I think I made like half a kilo. Now it's going to be super useful. Of course, the tip is solid. Oh, perfect. That's good news. I can, of course, make the ending thicker. Maybe I'll just make a bigger hole using a needle. Okay, that's perfect. Probably makes sense doing the inside first and then the outer rim. Okay, a little bit bigger. See how nicely the brush fixes all the imperfections. And I'll keep going all around those. Inside first. I can hear the rain outside. The weather's been terrible in London, which is nothing unusual, unfortunately. I'm thinking that I want those little dots or blobs actually filled up with paste. I'll flatten them a little bit, something like that. I'm doing the head now. And the body, I'll probably do the outline and then fill the inside. And the inside. I will spread it, of course. I do it and then I mess it up. I think they've got those marks. This side now, I am much more excited about the flowers. I left it for less than 2 hours. I think it's dry. So my cone stayed in a jar. Of course, the nozzle will need some cleaning again. What shall I start with? I think I'll start with the leaf. Yes, I want these to be probably completely filled, so I'm going to spread the paste more. I mean towards the middle, like this. I might add even more than that. I thought that it would be nice if this side was more of a feature. See, when I move the brush towards the middle, I'm actually getting those marks. I don't think I'll have to add anything to them. You see? It kind of looks like a leaf straight away. If I really want, I can add the midsection, but, well, I'll try. I managed to make it very narrow. Okay, now I'm happy with this. I'm trying to replicate a bud of some kind. And there's another little leaf underneath. So I'll do all the ones that are hidden, because then we'll be adding another layer on top, if that makes sense. Or some kind of a stem here. So this is the hidden leaf. Again, I'm going to spread it the same way towards the middle. And I'm going to remove the excess of paste. This might be a little bit too much. I seem to be in a leaf mode now, so let's do all the other ones. Again, you know, like with all the plants, nothing has to be perfect, because in real life they wouldn't be so perfect, and there will be, you know, some of them will be half broken maybe, some of them will be nibbled by a bug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more, no, 9 more. And the paste is pretty soft, as you've noticed, because this is the paste I made for the rose, and I made it soft on purpose. All of my other mixed paste was a bit thicker. I've done all the cute leaves and the little buds. Now time for the petals, and this is going to be, I think, the easiest. And the most satisfying. Each petal will be thicker at the end, and I am going to spread it towards the middle. Looking at the thickness of the leaves, I think this is going to be good. Okay, one done. This one is getting onto the leaf. Okay, that's quite a lot on this one. I did the briar rose some time ago, a 3D form, I remember now. So I better check what the inside looked like. Listen to this. That's how dry it is. In less than a day. Okay, now I have to think which colors do I want to see here. Well, if you ask me, I want to see some blues. Maybe some muted colors. I'm actually considering some beige background first. You can brush it on, you can use a spray paint, whatever is quicker. That should be much quicker. What do I have here? Sahara beige. I just wanted some neutral background. 1 minute later. This is not the final color that I wanted, but it's a good base. And it's already dry. What I need now is to dub in some colors on top, the colors that I want to see. And yeah, I did mention blues, didn't I? Oh, a bit of blue. How pretty. Yeah, look at this. White and blue. I can make different textures if I want. The spray paint is kind of working like another coat, covering my 3D work and making it more secure. I think I'm going to use a limited palette on this painting. I don't think I want my butterfly multicolored. I want basically to see those blues and a bit of white and some gold. Yeah, I couldn't survive any week longer without proper blues, you know? So last week we've got turquoises. I really loved the last week's lady. I don't know, not so many people watched this one, so I highly recommend it. It's my favorite lady from the series. At the moment, it's looking like this. So this is the first layer, the desired colors. I was briefly tempted to add some patterns to the background, but after all, I thought, no, we've got too much happening here with the flowers and the 3D elements that will take away from them. Changing the colors a bit now. I've got warm grey, Prussian blue. This is a heavy body acrylic, so it needs to be really well mixed. I am probably going to do some edges, or maybe the bottom of the painting a little bit darker, and see how happy I am with this. Let's check this blue first. Now what happens if I add ultramarine? That changes completely. I can use both. There's no harm. They're both very nice. So your marks will be, of course, different depending on the way you move your brush. So if I do this, everything will be nice and straight. You see that? but I don't want it. I want a bit of a circular move. Added a little bit of black now, because I thought maybe black was missing. Oh, that's dark. That's really dark. A small amount of black really changes everything. You can always get over with another color, lighter color, you know. Anything you don't like can be changed. Next stage will be focusing on the leaves, and I do want to make some sections really dark. The ones that are partially hidden. Quite a lot of contrast, I think that was needed. That's fine. In between those stems, why not? Now, since this side is so dark, I can apply the same color to some sections here. The body should be darker as well. Okay, we're slowly getting there. Tidy up the edges a little bit. Now I'm thinking of the flowers will be mainly, I'm thinking off-white. And the butterfly, predominantly blue, but different shades of blues. I'm making some stripy patterns. Adding some more, because I kind of like it. Definitely more here where the hidden petal is. Not the color that I would usually choose for flowers, but somehow I think that mixing gold with white looks even better. This gives us sort of a nicer shade and a little bit of a metallic. And of course, because I am going to be using gold later, that's going to be nice. Yes, it's sort of more yellow at the moment. That's what the leaves look like. Now I'm thinking that perhaps it would be nice to add a little bit more shadows. Nothing here is realistic, so we know that the butterfly is not realistic, definitely not. It's an artistic vision, and it's probably one of the most popular designs you can see everywhere. But I was asked for butterfly and flowers by my patrons, so that's what I'm doing. I brought some different blues. Cobalt blue, brilliant blue, light blue permanent. I'm not going to paint every section different color. That will not look really nice. Let me start with the blue I already have somewhere, but it's probably dry. And I am going over those sections. As I said, I am not going to cover them individually. It will look cartoony. So we've got this as a lighter tone, and that should transition into something darker, shouldn't it? So now I can make this side darker as well. Now I've got the lightest blue here. Not much, but enough to justify the existence of the color. I want to see now whether a little bit of gold will look nice in the background or not. Now if I apply this, it's going to cover my blue, so but if I water it down quite a lot, then I'll end up having a thin film. Let's try that. Let's try a little bit here. I am adding as little as possible to get this beigey color that exists on the flowers. That's how we build layers of color. This is iridescent gold. I don't think it matters too much. I kind of like the color. I always color of gold that I like. Some golds are not my favorite. This one is nice. Okay, I am going to do this. And this side of the butterfly. I mean, I can make some lines here and there, even with a very small brush. I prefer doing it with my finger because it's sort of more organic. Inside, these are the lightest parts. We see gold, but it's not overpowering. Instead of going over everything, I'll do this, and that will be enough. Now I need those little tiny dots around. I'm going to actually check with the first briar roses I've ever made. It was some time ago, but they were much more realistic. You see these? And they're cute. And I've got those little dots here. I've got white and gold together. I want it quite thick. Let's do that. Should we try needle? Look at this. This is so thick. Okay, now you can see. That's really thick. I'll leave them to dry and then I'll apply some gold on top. I think that will look nice. They're really prickly because of the thick paint. There's always those, always the embellishments are greatest fun. I've got a little problem. It sounds funny because every time I say I'm not going to add gold leaf, I think I just want a little bit of a golden shimmer. But then I ask people and they always say,
oh yes, yes, gold leaf would be awesome.
So what am I supposed to do? I want you to be happy, so gold leaf is coming. And since I'm going to do it, I've decided to do something strange. You know that I'm not the person who covers everything with sheets of gold leaf. I don't know, I don't have OCD, but in a way, you know, I just can't do it. I only put small sections where I want them to go. So I thought I'm going to make it easier for myself, at least once. I'm going to do something rather strange. So I'm going to mark the areas that I put gold leaf on, because every time I put a small amount of the paste somewhere, I can't find it, and I try to turn it, and I look at an angle, and yes, it is more shiny, but I want it very straightforward, so I put it here. Now I'm going to do this. We'll see if I find it helpful for myself, so because you do it the way you like, and I know that lots of you would just put the whole sheet on, but then you have to brush off everything, and I don't really like covering everything with particles of gold leaf. That's another reason. I probably waited 20 minutes, and let's see if my ridiculous method works or not. So at least I know where to stick it. Strangely, that made me really happy, kind of knowing where to go. I must say that this bright gold looks nice with the blue, doesn't it? Let's uncover those sections now. This is probably the most purposeful application I've ever done, because usually you have to reapply sections and change. But honestly, I am very happy with how it looks now. So maybe that, for me, actually, just for me, it works. Well, there we are. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please consider leaving a like or a comment. If you watched this far, let me know by using the word butter in the comments, and then I will know you stayed until the very end. If you're looking for more content, check out my stencils and extended tutorials on Patreon, and this piece is available for sale on my website, abcreativeofficial.com. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye.